Hey guys, welcome to the Trophy Life podcast. I'm your host, Tara Smith. From beauty to wellness, wife life, motherhood, and everything feminine in between, the Trophy Life podcast is a place where you can feel inspired and empowered and ultimately create the life that you desire and deserve. It's hot to romanticize your life, so grab a mocktail or your favorite cozy beverage and let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trophy Life. Very excited for today's episode because it's essentially going to be a part 2 to my part 1 episode that I did on everything that I'm doing to prepare for pregnancy. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, go listen to that one. You can either listen to it before or after this one. There's no particular order, but that's episode 16, just in case you want to just easily look up 16 in the show notes or in the show title, wherever you can search it on Spotify, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I basically in that episode, by the way, shared the supplements that I'm taking, and I dove very much into all things wellness that I'm doing. And there's going to be some of that in this episode, but that episode kind of went over those two topics. So, little life update. I'm back from Hawaii. And as you can see, I am very tan. I have no makeup on, and it's my favorite thing in the world to just wear no makeup. And I've got my recipe for my moisturizer on my skin, and I'm just feeling good. When you have a nice tan, there's nothing better because I just feel like I don't have to wear makeup. Not that I ever feel like I have to wear makeup, but when you're constantly recording yourself, it's good to feel a little bit put together. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And that's just how I feel. But yeah, I definitely miss being on the beach every single day. Where we were staying was my husband's aunt and uncle's beach house in Hawaii. And we're in one of their beach houses. And it is literally on the beach. So you walk out, there's a ton of grass, and then you're immediately on the beach. It's just so, and having that in Hawaii is I can't explain how magical it is because the beaches and the water in Hawaii are just like nothing else. And I feel so grateful that we got to be there for the 9 days that we were there. And it was just the best. So feeling very grateful about that experience, but also I'm I need to go back immediately because it was absolutely incredible. So yeah, that's pretty much the only life update. There wasn't an episode last week because we got home from our trip, and I don't know if it was the jet lag or when you just travel on an airplane and sometimes it just feels like you're exposed to so many germs that you just immediately get sick. And I never get sick, but I had the worst sore throat for 2 or 3 days, and I was there's no way I can sit down and talk for an hour straight. So I was I just won't be myself. And I'm not actually that much of a perfectionist, which I think you kind of have to be that way to be a content creator in some regard, or even just an entrepreneur, I guess, in general. Sure, the dog's upstairs. I'm what are they doing? But my husband's really sick right now. I think he just has a flu. So I'm not sure I can hear the dogs running around. I'm what are they doing up there? So yeah, the daily feet in the sand, jumping into the ocean every single day. Magical. Absolutely magical. Okay, and then I did want to give a thyroid medication update. So I'm actually getting my blood work done either tomorrow or on Tuesday. I might just go tomorrow just because there's not really a difference. And this is just kind of a 6-week follow-up appointment essentially of my blood work to just see where my levels are at and see how my body's reacting to being on Synthroid, the thyroid medication for Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism. So I'm really excited about that because I do feel like I've had some positive benefits already from being on thyroid medication. One being that my periods are kind of starting to go back to normal in the sense where they really got thrown off when I was pregnant. And that's one of the main reasons why I just know that my body's not ready for pregnancy again. It's very interesting to me how people are Literally, I'm not exaggerating. Like mentally and emotionally, I felt ready to get pregnant immediately after I had a miscarriage, which that's one thing. But then physically, it's so weird to me when people are like, when are you going to get pregnant again? And I'm like, girl, I just had a miscarriage literally less than 4 weeks ago. I don't even have my period back. Like, my uterine lining needs to get rebuilt. Like, it's a whole thing that your body's going through. And I feel like it was a little bit more, I don't know if it's more intense if your body passes your pregnancy naturally or not. I don't know. I think it's probably different for everybody. But my periods were and have been a lot heavier. And I would say my most recent one was like a little bit more on the regular side, which anyone who's had a miscarriage, I'm curious if you've had like a similar experience. But yeah, it's very like no one talks about this stuff. And that's why I want to talk about it, is because I'm like, I was like researching to find content, specifically actually podcast episodes, because I wanted something very in depth. And I just couldn't find anything. And the thing is I feel like it's an ongoing process in the sense where like your period can be a little bit slightly different. And my periods have always been so regular, like to the day, everything is the exact same. And so it's been interesting to like experience the change, but I can tell that things are getting better, which is really great. And I love having ChatGPT to talk about things too, because it's just very nice when I can't just like call up my midwife and be like, hi, so this is happening. And even if it's just like a small thing, but it doesn't necessarily feel like that. It's nice to have AI. So I'm gonna say it's very nice. Okay. So yeah, I'm also getting acupuncture tomorrow. I'm starting that officially, which I'm really excited about. I've always heard incredible things with acupuncture, and obviously I'm going to do it for like fertility benefits because of my subchorionic hemorrhage that I had when I was pregnant. And I was actually asking AI last night. I was like, so what are the things that causes like a subchorionic hemorrhage? Every single thing that it said, I did when I was pregnant. And I'm like, okay. So this is good because now the next time around, I will not, or I will be doing all the things that it said that can cause it, or I'll be doing all the things that will eliminate that happening. Because there's a good chance that that's what caused me to miscarry. And so, I feel like pregnancy, I know this sounds so weird to say, but like if you have a miscarriage, or I'm sure it's the same if you struggle with infertility, you're constantly learning and like educating yourself and kind of like doing a process of elimination. At least for me, that's what I've been doing, and it's been working out really well. But it's also just like a constant learning process. So yeah, like one thing that chat was saying was if you have Hashimoto's, that can be one thing because your thyroid's underactive. So I won't lie. One thing I'm kind of nervous about when it comes to getting pregnant again is taking medication, because the first time I was pregnant, I could literally not drink a drop of water in the morning without throwing up. And I'm like, how the heck am I going to do that? And then to not eat for 30 minutes to an hour when you're pregnant, right when you wake up in the first trimester, is going to be really hard. So I'm like, there's a good chance that I'll have to get like IVs or something of my thyroid medication. I mean, I'll do whatever I have to do. It's not that big of a deal. Just obviously time consuming and like energy wise, it's like, whoa, okay. But that's like the only thing I would say about pregnancy that at this point I feel, I don't even want to say nervous, but I'm just like, I have no idea how that's going to go down. And that's kind of like a weird feeling to feel. But at the same time, I've just completely surrendered to pregnancy. And I'm like, look, you can control a lot of things, and you can't control a lot of things. And I actually think that you have a lot more control with the preconception stuff, in the sense where like when you're pregnant, like yes, you can control a lot of things when you're pregnant as well, obviously. But it's like the nausea and being sick, even if you do all of the things, sometimes there's literally nothing you can do. You just have to get through it. And so I'm doing all the things that I can now, because literally your body a year before you get pregnant, affects your pregnancy. So, and I'm also having my husband do a ton of things when it comes to preconception, which I guess to start off our topic, we can just kind of go into that first. I actually didn't write anything down about that for him, but I will just share everything that he's doing. So my husband's lifting weights as often as he can. Obviously right now he's sick, so can't do that. Getting sunshine, even just walking, absolutely. It's so good because he works a desk job. He's a COO of a tech startup, so he's working all the time, like a lot. And yeah, hydrating, eating nutritious foods, which I just like to cook for him because I know exactly what's going into his food, and cooking for people that I love is something that I really love. So that's been very exciting. And these are just obviously basics. And then his supplement regimen has been the Heart and Soil whole package. So he takes 6 of those every day, a probiotic. And then actually he only takes a probiotic when like he needs extra gut support, because the Needed what's it called? It's like sperm support from Needed. I don't know if I'll keep him on this once. I love how I say keep him on it because he just is like, you just tell me what to take and then I'll just take him. Like, okay. But yeah, he's been taking the Needed support, sperm support, since like, I don't know, maybe like last July, I want to say. So he's been taking that for a while. And then I also recently added in a DHA for him. So there's just like, and that's from Thorne. Wait, is that one from Thorne? If it's not from Thorne, it might be from Needed, but I want to get him on Thorne supplements. I've really enjoyed my Thorne supplements, and I really want to get him on the men's, like, I almost just said prenatal, but it's just a multivitamin. But obviously Needed's great because I think their sperm support is great. And the reason why he doesn't also take a probiotic is because I feel like I remember, if I'm remembering right, the Needed sperm support already has like probiotic stuff in it. And I don't like to overdo it in the sense where like I want him to get a lot of nutrition from the food that he eats. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other supplements. I guess the only other supplement I'm taking, I think that's new, is just my thyroid medication. And then everything else I talked about in the other episode. Okay, so one huge thing that I think is so important for anyone who is going to get pregnant, who's trying to get pregnant, who is pregnant, or even just if you have kids, pets, this is so important to do for your overall health, to boost fertility, you know, like mitigate the cancer-causing chemicals in your home, food, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of calling this like an environmental cleanup, because it's so important to be aware of what you're putting on your skin, what you're letting into your home, what your grass has in it, like so many things that I feel like we just don't think about that much. So one thing I've really overall just been trying to do, because it can be kind of intimidating, honestly, like when you're first getting into the world of realizing how much food and chemicals and like makeup and skincare and all that kind of stuff is like poisoning us, you're like, okay, I'm like, hold on, this is like a lot, right? So I feel like for me, one thing that really helps is to honestly realize that I actually don't need that much stuff. And like, I only use one skincare product when it comes to like serums I put on my face. And it's all, I guess it's not one product, but it's like all whole ingredients. So I have a serum, I have a moisturizer, and those are pretty much all I use. And then a cleanser. And then I occasionally will do like a face mask. I literally make my own face masks with ingredients that I have in my home. My skin has literally never looked better. I got a few breakouts when I was on my period / I was also traveling, which again, it's just like, it's normal, especially with my hormones changing so much right now. But like, I got so many compliments on my skin when I was in Hawaii, and I'm like, I have literally no makeup on. And I'm like, it's the best feeling ever when you can like fully embrace just being in a more natural space, if you will. Now, obviously, I still love makeup. I love all the fun girly things, but it's kind of hard to like fully enjoy and love these things when you realize either they're not safe for pregnancy, or you look up the negative effects that it has on you and your hormones, your reproductive health. It's like, holy crap, I don't want to use this anymore. And so that was the first thing that I did with myself, my home, and my husband. And I had my husband's products. I still need to find him. Actually, I just listened to a Skinny Confidential podcast episode, and she was talking about like some hair. The guest that they had was talking about some hair product. So I'm like, maybe I should try that for my husband, because I feel like hair products, from what I have experienced, have been the hardest to find a natural, like, what's the word? Like replacement for, essentially. Just like something made of whole ingredients. So I still use like a non-natural shampoo. I use the Shuamaru shampoo and conditioner, because it's like, it works so good. And I've tried so many natural ones and nothing's worked for me yet. So that's the only thing, I think. And then getting my nails done. But I'm really trying to eliminate things. So I've ditched all of my toxic skincare. I make my own skincare, obviously, as you guys know. And it's really just been a game changer for my skin, like I was saying. But I feel like the bigger theme here is that it's beneficial for my reproductive health and my hormones, rather than literally harming them, which I'm like, our environment already has enough things in it, like when you go out or when you travel. I'm like, I don't need more of that in my house. You know what I mean? The second thing that I'm doing is I'm not wearing any perfume. I stopped wearing perfume probably like 8 months ago, maybe like last spring, early summer, I guess like a year ago then. And every time I wear it now, I get the biggest headaches, and I swear they like turn into migraines. And I'm like, I cannot do this anymore. I hate this. What is going on? Why am I being literally poisoned? Or at least it feels like it. And then I looked up what perfumes are made of, and surprise, lots of poison. Perfumes are literally one of the worst things for your reproductive health and your hormones. And it's like, oh, how is this legal? I don't understand. Honestly, it actually like infuriates me. So yeah, there's that. Okay, and then this also sounds really crazy, but I don't wear deodorant unless I have to. I don't feel like I smell bad that much in general. But if like obviously I'm like going to the gym or a Pilates class, even in Pilates, I don't really feel like I sweat. If I'm going hiking with people, I'll obviously wear deodorant. But especially when I'm working out, I really actually don't like to. There's just something to me, even when I'm wearing a natural deodorant, that at least I have always used Salt and Stone, but I just feel like there's something recently in me that just doesn't feel good with it on my armpits. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I just need to make my own deodorant to feel good about that, and do some research on like what ingredients are actually beneficial for being under your armpit, because with how many studies have come out with, the harm that deodorant has on women's health, I'm so over it at this point. I'm over it. So I've just kind of eliminated it. Again, very simplifying over here. I feel like I sound like a hippie, but again, it's just once you come to the realization of how much stuff is harming your health, it's like, I'm like, I want to do all that I can to do that. And again, I'm not coming from a place of fear either. I think that's very important. And it's not like I'm so stressed about all these things. It's like, no, I just actually want to make the best decision for my health now and for my health in the future and my kids. And that's like all that it comes down to, is just making better decisions. So yeah. And when I do wear makeup, I just minimize it. So whenever I decide to wear makeup, and eventually I would love to wear makeup every day, maybe I need to make my own makeup too to feel the best about it. Because if it was made of really good ingredients that I knew exactly what was in it and there was no dyes, the dyes are what I have the biggest issue with. Then I probably would be wearing it every day, because makeup is something I have loved since I was like 10 years old. And yeah, I would love to keep it in my life, but it's, yeah, I just haven't found anything that fits my standard of clean, not even close. And I thought that there was a lot of products that did, and then I did more research. And I'm just like I thought Say didn't use dyes in their products, and they 1,000,000% do. And I'm like, I can't catch a break. I can't. It's like, it says it's clean, but then it's like actually not. And I'm like, obviously I'm putting them kind of on blast, but it's just really frustrating to me when people say that they're clean, and I'm like, you're actually not though. Like, this is banned in other countries. It's a whole thing. Okay. So that's kind of like the beauty things that I've been doing, which again, to me at this point, they just feel so normal. And there's something so freeing, I will say, about not wearing makeup and feeling beautiful in your own skin. And for me, it's having a tan. However, like I love to go outside every day, get a good tan on my skin, and I just feel so good. I feel amazing. I did just get out of a hot shower, so I feel like my skin also always looks red whenever I'm filming. I don't know if there's something in here that's reflective, but um anyways. Okay. So, yeah, speaking of home, I'm really excited because I was actually on Instagram the other day and I was like trying to find new house cleaners because I had some cleaners, but I was like, okay, I really need to find people that can like come regularly and that do a really good job and get all the nooks and crannies that I don't have time to get. And I found this company who they use Branch Basics when they clean. And I was like, wait, love that. I was like, I need to support that. So they're going to come clean my home, I think like next week sometime. Very excited about that. I feel like cleaning products are one of the most, like our home in general is one of the most toxic environments if you let it. So, along with like using clean ingredients and stuff, other things I like to do is having like fresh flowers in the home for like a nice natural scent. Or I love like natural like tallow candles or coconut wax candles. I also love opening up your windows and just like letting fresh air into your home, especially now that it's getting a little bit warmer outside, feels so incredible. It is just the best thing ever. And I do it almost every day for probably like a few hours every day. And it's nice too because the dogs can just run in and out the door or having a window open. It's really nice. So, especially if it's like in the morning, you get some of that fresh morning air in. I'm telling you, it's the best. So I do that. And then, yeah, I would say for the most part, I actually don't really love candles. And a lot of dogs and cats are very sensitive to candles and like the plugins in your home. So Nova has really bad allergies. And so I've actually just eliminated candles unless people are coming over just for her allergies to kind of help that out. Another thing that we did this when we bought our home, is we got all stainless steel pans. I swear I still feel like I'm learning how to use them though. They are so hard to use after using like the Teflon. Those are so easy. Like it's so much easier to like cook eggs or whatever. So I do have some, I think it's from Our Place, and I've also had Caraway, but we lost our Caraway pans one time in a move. So, but I did love those. I love both of those brands. But yeah, we have Our Place and I use those for a lot of our cooking as well. And then our cast iron skillet. The cast iron has probably turned into my favorite cookware item we've had in a long time. Colby's dad gave us a super nice cast iron for Christmas, or he gave it to Colby. But I use it the most. And I love cooking meat on it specifically. It's so great for cooking steaks. It's just the best. I think the brand was called Smithy, I think is the name of it. So if you're looking for a cast iron, I'm telling you, it's good. Okay, so another thing that we did to our home to just help keep it make it into a little bit more of a sanctuary is we got filtered water for all the sinks and like shower, like anywhere where water comes out of. We have a filtration system that's in our basement, like by our water unit. It was a little bit expensive to get it put in, but I love it. It's so nice to be able to just drink out of the tap. I do still clean our, like the tap faucet. I clean it every month. Sometimes I try to do it more than that, but I just put like a bag of vinegar and I let it soak and it gets up all of like the buildup, but there's not really that much on it now that we've had a water filter system, which has been amazing. And it's so much nicer to not have to buy, like bottled water and stuff like that. But it's nice that there's no like chlorine or fluoride and stuff like that in our water, which I think actually Utah removed all fluoride from the city water, which is really great. And I'm like, every other state should follow because that's awesome. Another thing I really need to do, this is on my list. They're just so expensive and I like haven't ever pulled the trigger, but I need to get an air purifier for our main living space and then our bedroom. We have like humidifiers. I can't remember the brand's name. I mentioned it the other episode. and they're also like they're a purifier and a humidifier, but I want like a heavy duty one, especially with having dogs. And I've heard that Air Doctor, I think that's their brand, is really good. I'm going to do more research, but that's like gives you an idea of something that I want to get for our living room, and then just like hide them behind the couches or something just to, yeah, clean up the air, because it's crazy with dogs. I'm like, your air gets so dirty so fast. Okay. This is something I'm really trying, but it's so hard because I love my nightly TikTok scroll, but I'm trying to be mindful of blue light in the evening. Actually, it's not even really TikTok that I scroll in the evening, it's Pinterest, which I don't care. I let myself do it because there's nothing negative that I've seen that comes of that. Used to be like more so TikTok, but I've been breaking up my phone. You guys, if you listened to my podcast episode on breaking up with your phone was the episode name. I shared in that episode about Brick, so I've still been using that. I love my Brick. Like, get me bricked up every single day. Catch me bricked up every day. That sounds weird. Kind of sounds, anyways. That's just the name of their brand. The name of their brand. So it is what it is. But yeah, I try to be mindful of that, and I always have my phone on like the yellow mode or whatever it's called. So another thing I do is I don't put my laptop directly on my lap. I try to keep my phone away from my lap as well, because it's just all the EMFs, and there's no reason to have my phone on my lap or my laptop on my lap. It's so easy to just put it on a desk or a pillow, or I actually bought like it's like this pad. And see if it was in here, but I think it's upstairs in our bedroom. And you put it on your lap, and then you can put your laptop on top of it, and it literally blocks all EMFs from your laptop. It is the best thing to ever exist. I'm obsessed with it. It's like, for all the crunchy moms out there, it will literally change your life. Okay. So there's that. Love that thing so much. I think it's on my Amazon account, my Amazon storefront, Amazon account. Goodbye. Okay. The last thing, a lot of people don't think about this, but your mattress can be literally made of plastic. I'm sorry. What? So I bought a purple mattress, and I asked them, I was like, what's your, like, is this made of plastic? Like, I do not want a plastic mattress. They said no. I trusted them. But another company that I was looking at, I think it was called like Avocado Green. That was another mattress company I was looking at. I love my purple mattress. It is freaking amazing. I'm trying to remember. I wasn't as crunchy when I bought it, but I can't get myself to buy like another mattress. Like, there's absolutely no way. But like our old mattress was a really cheap one, and it was made of plastic. So obviously you can buy certain things that are cheap and they can be really good quality, but you can also buy things that are cheap that are actually very harmful for your health. And like, you might notice that if you buy like a mattress, you'll notice like there's like a certain smell. If you buy like a cheaper mattress, I remember distinctively having this with our mattress, and the smell just like would not go away. And now I know that it was just like a bunch of harmful chemicals. So yeah, that's definitely something to be aware of. Again, these are all just things that like I'm doing and have been doing to prepare myself for pregnancy again, and just preconception health. But overall, like, these are great for anybody to do. Again, just for your overall hormone, reproductive, preventing cancer, all that kind of stuff. And don't, again, like, get stressed out about it. This is just something, I'm just basically putting a list together for you to be informed, because I think having information is powerful. And again, there's nothing to be afraid of. I want to like really make that clear. This is not like something to stress about. It's just something to take control of and like take your power back, or take control of. I was going to say something, but it was kind of inappropriate, so I'm not going to say it. Sometimes the way that I talk to Colby, like, I would say something so much more like intense, and I'm like, I should not say that on the podcast. Maybe one day I will. Maybe, I don't know. Okay. Digital footprint, digital footprint. Okay. So let's go into the mental health aspect of things. So these are things that I'm doing for my mental health to prep me for pregnancy, but also, again, just great things to do in general. So the first thing is having a positive inner dialogue with myself. I've been really thinking about this recently about how the way that I talk to myself out loud and in my head is so incredibly important. I think about like my future daughter one day, and I'm like, if she ever knew the way that I was talking about myself, or like if especially if it's like something around looks or it's physical, that makes me so sad because she's literally going to be a version of me, like a mini version of me. And like, I'm going to be obsessed with her. I already know. I'm already going to be obsessed. So I'm like, I can't have that. Like, we got to get rid of that. It's not good. It's not serving anybody. And as a future mom, that is just something that is very important to me. And I want to teach my kids how to have that same positive inner dialogue with themselves. And how the hell am I supposed to do that with them if I can't even do it with myself? So that's kind of how I feel with that. The second thing I would say is surrounding myself with only positive voices / people, including myself, including the voice in my head, kind of like we just talked about. But this is so important. I think I don't care if someone's family, I don't care if I've known them forever. If someone I think is a negative impact in my life, like they bring in negative energy more than they bring in positive on, like, let's say for like a few years. Maybe that's even being too generous, but that's definitely what I do. It's time to like take a step back a little bit. Like, you got to distance yourself. You have to protect your own self and your own peace, especially when you're about to be a mom, because you have a mini human that you're about to be fully responsible for. It literally gets me so excited. I get so excited about that. I'm like, I can't wait. I'm like, give me all the mini humans. I'm like, let's go. So freaking ready. That is also side tangent. I feel like a lot of people are like, when did you know that you're ready to be a mom? I'm like, girl, you will know. Like, you will not question if you're, like, I've always felt like I was ready to be a mom, but sometimes I'd be like, yes, I am. And then I'm like, nah, I don't know. I want to wait longer. The way that I've been feeling for, like, I would say the past year is like, I'm so ready to be a mommy, but especially since like last summer. Like, I'm so ready. And I'm like, this baby's gonna cook in me for 9 months. I'm like, that's crazy. It's just like, I don't know. It's so fun to think about. Like, I'm like, oh, I love it. Like, my whole entire Instagram and TikTok feed are just like all things mom. And I'm like obsessed. Like, literally, I was like getting dressed today and I just took a shower. And if you're watching this on video, you can see, but literally my shirt from my hair is like all wet, and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like I'm breastfeeding. And then I was like, I can't wait for my shirt to be like wet from breastfeeding. I was like so excited because I'm like, that just like, to me, I feel like, again, not that I would have ever not appreciated having a baby, but after you experience a miscarriage, the way, like, how ready you feel to have a baby, I feel like especially with your first, I was actually telling my husband, I was like, I really hope that this doesn't sound bad, but I was like, I wish that I could have had a miscarriage after already having a baby. Again, I know this sounds so bad, but like, it just is the reality that I was feeling, is because I was like, when you have a baby to like hold and love, there's something about that love that would be comforting. And like, when you lose your first baby, you have nothing like that to like kind of feel that void, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. It just like is what it is. But like I was telling him, I was like, I really feel like if I were to have another miscarriage in the future, I'm like, not that it wouldn't be hard, because of course it would. You're literally losing your baby. But I was like, there's just nothing that will ever compare to when you're childless and you think that you're about to be a mom, or you are a mom. Like, you're working day and night growing that baby, okay? And then you're all of a sudden just like, not anymore. It's so crazy. And I'm like, I feel like you can't explain it. Like, you can only really understand it if you've experienced it. But yeah, I'm just like so freaking ready to be a mom. Like, if God was like, hey, you can be a mom, but you have to have quadruplets, I'd be like, sick. I'm like, let's freaking go. I got all the baby names prepped, which, by the way, Colby and I have 4 baby names ready to go. 2 boys and 2 girls. And their names are so good. And I'm like, the reason why they're so good is because they're very meaningful in different ways. And Like they have meaning behind their names. And I'm just so excited to share with the world one day. I'm like, I just can't wait. Because you guys know I want like 6 kids at least. Colby said like 4, but I'm like, no. I think he said 5, but I'm like, no, I want like 6. So, anyways, that was a huge side tangent. But it's just so fun. Like, I feel like if you are a mom or you're excited to be a mom, then it's just kind of like, it's so fun to romanticize your future life. And I'm obviously very still appreciative, by the way, of where I am right now, because I have absolutely loved all the years that Colby and I have been just us two. Like, it has been something so special, and I highly recommend to anybody who is recently gotten married. Obviously, if you get pregnant like without like on accident, that's amazing. That's great. It's just meant to be. But having at least, I feel like for the first 3 years that we were married, those were some of like the best times. Honestly, maybe even it's like it just feels like it's been ongoing because I got married when I was 20, and like the past 6 years have been so incredible with Colby. And obviously we were planning on starting our family like last fall, so we had just been married for 6 years when we wanted to get pregnant. And yeah, it's like these this time that we had together when we were young, we've lived in different states, we've lived in tons of different homes, is like, I love that we will always have those memories. And I love that a bunch of kids are about to enter the chat. Like, let's go. Oh my God, I'm so ready. Okay, so going back to the last thing I wanted to say on the mental health aspect of things is not overthinking and stopping myself if I ever do. So I would say sometimes I get on these downward spirals, okay? And I think a lot of girlies can relate to this, where I'm just thinking. I'm thinking about things that are not productive. They're not serving me. They're not serving my future self. And I'm like, okay, I gotta chill out. So that's something I'm trying to be more conscious of. And I do feel like I've actually gotten a lot better at this the past like 2-ish months, but especially the past month, where I'm just like, it's chill. Like if I eat French fries, I'm like, it's chill. Like I'm not stressed about it. I like the 80-20 principle in general with life, and I feel like that especially equates with me for eating, because with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, when you literally gain weight by exercising every day, eating the exact same way you always have, and you still gain weight, it is so, for me, it's been something that's actually very like embarrassing, and I don't feel like myself. And that's the best way to describe it. And it got worse when I was pregnant because my thyroid levels went insane and they more than doubled, like my hypothyroidism and stuff. And it's so, like, anyone who knows me, I've talked about this a bajillion times, but I'm also like, Tara, you gotta just like take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fixed. Your body's healing itself. Your body went through something very traumatic. It's no wonder that something traumatic kind of came out of it and is showing on your body. It's like, that's totally okay. And but yeah, I also like, I hate when people are like, hey, you look so good. It's like, yeah, but like everybody, that's so subjective. Everyone feels different about, or everyone has a different idea in their head of what they look good means to them, right? So anyways, another side tangent, but I feel like girls with any autoimmune issue where your weight is like literally like the freaking stock market constantly going up and down, it is such an emotional roller coaster, and it really tests your mental health, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. So, okay, spiritual, excited about these things. And I've kind of already touched on this, but it's just being faithful and not fearful. So, and if I ever am feeling scared, I'm not going to overthink it either. I'm just like, oh, that's just a normal human emotion to feel. I don't need to like diagnose every single little teeny tiny negative feeling that I have. I feel like we do that a lot in today's society, and it's just like just experiencing regular human things, and we again overcomplicate them. So that's one thing I really like to do, and I'll just like go for a walk. I'll go watch a show. I love watching the Kardashians. Like I love reality TV. I'm like, just something to just have some fun. or I'll do something creative. Like I haven't really been into coloring recently, but I love coloring. It's so fun. And I'm like, sometimes it's just fun to just like chill and enjoy life and have fun and be excited about the future. And I feel like fear is so easily replaced with being like a faithful, positive person. And it just takes practice. And every time you catch yourself thinking something fearful or, scary, you just like, that's literally just, I'm making this up in my mind. You could say it's like anxiety as well, which I used to be a very anxious person, can't speak. And I would definitely say that that is like literally has left the building, left the chat. It's no longer in me from just relaxing and being filled with faith and not fear. What is the definition of faith? I'm going to actually look it up. Wow, my phone's almost dead. Complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Yeah, so just having faith in yourself. It's that Cinderella story quote. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. No, seriously though, that's like my motto. That's literally my new life motto. Hilary Duff, I love you. I love that movie. Literally top 3 movies I know. Legally Blonde to Cinderella Story. Love them. I actually have all my favorite movies in my notes. So, so good. Okay, the next thing I've been doing is listening to faith-filling messages on YouTube. So I just listen to messages within my own like religion, essentially, from leaders or like scripture quotes or Bible stuff, like Bible quotes, stuff like that. That's just like uplifting and just like, again, chill, or meditation, high frequency sounds, like just things that bring a calming aura, especially when I need it. It's so good to have those. If you haven't ever listened to 528, is it megahertz? That frequency on like Spotify, there's one that's called 528 Anxiety Relief. If you have anxiety, that one's amazing. I actually use it for my puppy. Every time she cries in her kennel, I turn that on and then she immediately stops crying. It just calms her down. But they have tons of different frequencies that are amazing. Like they help you sleep better. They help you go to sleep. It literally changes the way that your brain is functioning and changes your brain patterns. So highly recommend. It's also great for manifestation as well. Okay. The last category that I have on here is emotional things that I'm doing. Sorry, my hair is driving me nuts because when your hair is wet and it's like touching your skin, I at least hate that feeling. So I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to wear a tank top with wet hair. But here we are. So the first thing I'm doing is positive affirmations. I try to be really good with this. And like I'm going to put this in with meditation. I honestly go through phases, okay? I'm not like someone who's super consistent with meditations. I really try. But I kind of count my walks as like a form of meditation because I don't listen to anything for at least like half of my walk. So I'm just like thinking. And sometimes I'll play like a meditation, but I feel like I go through different phases in my life. And right now I'm in a phase of like, I just don't want to like overthink. So I almost said I don't give enough, but I do. But I care so much that I'm not going to care because I feel like I need to go the complete opposite and just like chill out for a little bit. So I'm kind of taking a break from that. But meditations are amazing. And especially if you're someone who struggles with anxiety, highly recommend them. Highly recommend. But again, just going on a walk, incredible for your mental health. And I mean emotional. I guess mental and emotional sometimes kind of intertwine, but okay. The third thing is giving myself grace and being just go with the flow. This kind of the energy I feel like I've been giving, but that is very much so how I've been feeling. And I feel like giving myself grace is actually the bigger part when I wrote this down that I feel like is really important to me, is just not being hard on myself if I don't work out one day or something like that. Like that stress that you're putting on yourself and your body is literally worse for you than it can be worse for you than like missing a workout. So, or getting any movement in, whatever works for you. So yeah, that's just something that I've been doing and I feel like it's really been working. So like crazy. I'm like, this literally being nice to myself. I'm like, it's working. I'm like, no shit, Tara. My gosh, you should have done that a long time ago. Okay, the last thing is surrendering. So, something beautiful about being carefree and things that you literally don't have control over and just like letting go, your life will literally change. I'm not being dramatic. It's like so funny. I'm like, all these things are like, they seem like when I was writing them down, I'm like, oh, that's so good. But I'm like, these are the most basic vanilla things, like just being carefree and don't overthink something. But I feel like with when it comes to like infertility, a miscarriage, or you're just getting pregnant in general, okay? It is like it is something that's so easy to overthink. And I fear it's really easy to overthink because if you are like tracking your cycle or you just like wherever you are in your cycle, you're just like thinking about it. So it's really easy to just overthink it. But keeping yourself busy with hobbies, which I just did an episode on some hobbies and like hot girl habits. And I think it was hot girls, it girl hobbies and habits, I think is what it was called. It was the episode before this. There's tons of like, that is a great episode to like talk more about hobbies. And I actually really want to go into hobbies more because it's so fun to romanticize your life and enjoy hobbies and just have fun. And I don't know, there's so many things that are fun about being a girl, but you know what hobby I can't wait for? I can't wait to freaking be a mom. That's going to be my literal hobby. And I fear it's going to become my entire personality trait. But you know what? Not even my entire personality trait. It's going to become my entire personality. But you know what? I am so ready for that. And I think like in different chapters of your life, you have different things that you very much so resonate with when it comes to like who you are as a person. And I literally do not think that there's anything wrong with being a mom, being like your entire personality. Cause it's like, it literally is, cause you're literally taking care of a human. So it's not really something nonchalant, especially if you have multiple kids. Like I'm trying to be like Ballerina Farm. Okay. I love Ballerina Farm. How many kids does she have? Like 8 or something? I'm like, that's goals. Now that's incredible. I'm like, get me one of those. Sign me up. I'll take 14 of them right now. It was so funny. I have to tell you guys this story. I just remembered. What was it? Okay, yes, I remember. My husband and I were in Hawaii last week, right? The week before. I don't freaking know. And there was this really cute, I think she's like 2-year-old. And she's a daughter of a friend of ours. And she was just being so cute. And this was at the day of the wedding. And she was like being all cute during like this like serious conversation that they were having at the wedding. And I like looked at my sister-in-law, Cozy, and I was like, fantastic. Give me 14 of them right now. And she was like laughing. She's like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. And then 15-20 minutes later, I'm talking to my husband and he looks at her and he goes, give me 14 of them right now. And I look at him, I'm like, I literally just said that to Cozy. I think it was honestly only like 10 minutes ago. And when I said it to Cozy, he was literally on the other side of the beach. Like there's no way he could have heard me say that. And I'm like, this is marriage. Marriage is when your brains are literally so connected. And mind you, my husband does not go on social media. So I'm like, I don't know. Or what's the trend? Oh, it's like fantastic. Give me 14 right now. That's what he said. Anyways, it was so cute though. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I can't wait to see you as a daddy. I'm like, you're going to be so cute. Just so freaking cute. So, anyways, that was really adorable. But yeah, my husband's literally going to be the best dad. I'm like, he will be an incredible dad. I really feel like I obviously never got to find out the gender of our first baby, but I really feel like our first baby was a girl. And I'm like, I know that we'll have another girl. I really feel like I'm going to have boys and girls. I would honestly also be totally cool with having all girls or all boys, but I just have always felt like I'll have a mix. And my husband is going to be the cutest dad to both, like, to boys and girls, but also I'm like, he would be the cutest girl dad ever. Like, our girls are literally going to be they're going to have him actually wrapped around their finger. He will literally do anything for them. I'm like, that I already know. Because I feel like between my husband and I, he's much more going to be like the pushover between the two of us. Because that's how it is with the dogs. Like, I'm so, like, Luna needs to stay on her schedule. Like, this is like, this has to be this. And he's like, it's fine. I'm like, she misses us. And like, I'm like, but he's also like insanely masculine. But I feel like the most masculine men are literally like the most kind-hearted, caring, loving, like also soft in those relationships. And I love it. It's the best. So yeah, I'm just so excited. He's just so cute. He's so cute. And anyways, I love you guys so much. I will see you next week. My hair, I literally got, I shared on my Instagram. I can't tell right now, but I bleached my hair. I guess that's another life update before I went to Hawaii. And I cut off like, I think we cut off like 6 inches or something. My hair was so long before. And I was like, if I'm being completely real with you, long hair just doesn't feel like it suits me anymore. And I pretty much had long hair like my entire life. So I'm excited. I kind of want to like chop my hair, but I'm also like waiting to see how, I don't know. I just feel like it's not really a good idea to like chop your hair either right before you get pregnant or after you have a baby. And I'm talking like a year, okay? A year before you get pregnant, a year after you have a baby. I'm like, you just kind of got to give like some buffer time. So if I do cut my hair, it will not be for a long time, but I really want to because I'm like, ooh, short hair's cute. Anyways, okay, I'm just like talking about I don't even know what. You guys, happy early Easter. Easter is this coming Sunday, I'm pretty sure. That's crazy. Wait, I'm pretty sure it is. Hold on, I gotta look this up now because it's actually gonna bother me if it's not. And I just said, I mean, it is the month of April, so it's absolutely not Easter this coming Sunday. Easter is on the 20th, so I'm glad that I checked. Okay. Love you guys for real, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. If you enjoyed it, make sure to join the Trophy Life Club. It's a free community for the girls by yours truly, and it's on Instagram. It's just at Trophy Life Club. You can also follow me at Tara Kelly Smith on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you have an extra minute, I would also love and super appreciate if you would review the podcast. This will just help us reach more women who could use a little TLC, aka Trophy Life Club, in their life. So I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.